Yo, what up?
What it do? What it do, boy? Yo, we about to rock that to the TV. Split screens and all that shit. Yeah, the next Pangea interview it has to be like that.
What's that? Oh yeah, with Hot Rocks.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
So
I just had to turn down a show in Luxembourg with him just because it was like November 5th, and it was with Eddy, not Eddy G, but Eddy, and it's wild, man. Like it's like $200 a COVID test, and then the flight would have been $2,000. It would have been like $2,400, like just to go out there, and like I was just like, you know what, it wasn't enough time, and then no one's vaccinated there either. And like everything's all wild over there, like fucking Netherlands and all of Europe is fucked right now. It's like I was like, whatever, it'll be fine. And I was just like, guess not.
That's a lot. That's a lot, man.
Yeah. It was like I was like, if it had given me enough time, like a month or something, maybe it would have been like $700, $900. And then, but yeah, each COVID test, that's wild, man. I was just like, whoa, like traveling's different now.
Yeah.
So I actually want to start this off and kind of know like what kind of panel we got. I want to know is anybody here excited for the pumpkin lattes?
Pumpkin lattes? I'm not much of a pumpkin latte guy, but I do like the pumpkin spice donuts and stuff like that. Like not so much a latte.
Starbucks creamer already, like a month ago, like when it was aggressively inappropriate. And it kind of made me sick. I don't know, like just didn't feel good. Like, you know, like not compared to having normal coffee and cream and shit. So I'll take it.
Yeah. For me, I'm not really into like that particular one, but like Starbucks has a couple that are actually pretty dope. Like I don't know, and different drinks and shit like that,
or whatever. That one's alright. But I don't take sugar in my coffee anyway. So I was just like, this is aggressive.
Okay, it's like blah blah. That fucking like coffee hits you like blah blah.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Keep it pure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with that. No sugar.
Also, yo, good to meet you, bro. Or have we chilled those together in Hamilton? Or?
I don't think so. No, bro, not at all. I think this is the first time we've actually met. I was watching up your video that Eddy G did with you. I see you worked with NEMS and toured in Europe and stuff like that, right? That's super cool. Super cool.
And like touring with some homies and shit, lived in Amsterdam, and and linked through NEMS over there in The Hague. Like
that's dope.
It's definitely on me being a bad host. Like,
that's all right. But look, because you're just bringing random people together, we get to connect like that too. So
for sure.
Absolutely.
Sure, and that was the whole thing with this right here. Like, I was like, that's why actually both of you, like, you're both in a group, and like, I was like, I don't want to get the group together and have a conversation. I want to have a mix of different people, you know, like, here we got Eddy,
other homie,
Eddy Jones.
Eddy, man, because I was like, well, we should get Hot Rocks on there, and you're like, no, like we should. I liked it. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, and I'm like, no,
I'm actually gonna get Hot Rocks on a different one.
Yeah, no, respect
with different people.
Makes sense.
Yo,
what up?
Boom.
Sorry, I'm late. Just got home from
all good. All good. So like, we haven't got too far. Does we're just you guys know Eddy Jones?
I have definitely been listening to Eddy Jones' music, working with B1 a lot. He's killing it. Eddy, you're a beast.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, as well. I don't know if I've ever done a show in Hammer or anything together, but yeah, good to meet both of y'all.
You too, man. Likewise.
Good to meet you.
Definitely. We're just discussing. None of us are actually getting the pumpkin latte, but a lot of people are. Are you on that or no?
No pumpkin latte for me.
No.
Okay. Okay. So one of my like I got a mix of like music like and this other life shit too. So like so one of the topics is I want to know how you guys felt. We can go clockwise through it, and we'll go how do you guys feel doing your very first music video? Like were you nervous in front of the camera? Did you like not what was it hard to do like and do your raps? Was it I was that first time in front of like the camera doing a music video.
Me first? Or, yeah, me. Do I go first? I
Yeah, just a bit of a.
I hate like and they're really awkward. You know, like I feel like yeah, yeah. And like to cool dancing around. I don't know. Like it's just kind of that vibe every time. Like I've gotten better over time, and as like I guess definitely as you like go from this being a hobby to like taking it more seriously, you kind of like get into a different headspace doing it. But yeah, like it's always kind of weird. It's kind of weird for me. That's what I feel. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go, Eddie.
For me, it's a different situation because since I was a producer for a long time, I got to be involved in a lot of videos before I was on for myself.
Okay.
So I got to like just be a part of them, either just make a cameo or act in them, or a lot of behind the scenes type of thing. So by the time I got to do one for myself, it just felt natural. You know what I mean? It was like as he was saying, like you kind of goes away after a while. You kind of get used to it, right? Like
yeah.
And I was very lucky that in that way that I didn't have those like jitters, like, oh my God, this is my first video. What am I gonna do? Like I was, and not to mention that I was high and drunk as fuck. So that too.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm a little different than both of them too. My first video, I was totally, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was all about it. I was excited to be shooting my first video, and I had 416 EOD shooting the video, who's a great videographer, and I was excited, young, and just pumped, and I just went at it, and it came out awesome. Nowadays, I'm more cautious about what I'm trying to do. As I'm getting older, I'm all like, I don't want to show nobody this side. Just so I'm a little more cautious and careful now, and I'm also a little more awkward when I'm shooting my videos. I won't lie. Like, I just released the back of the day video, and I'm watching the video, and I'm like, doing the same thing with my arms.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was better when I started. Now I'm more cautious, and it's getting tougher.
Wrapping hands is like a skill in its own. Like I remember like the very first video I was ever doing was it was me and Richie Dolo, and then we each had a camera, and we didn't really have any like expectations. We didn't even know like what we were doing. We were just like, yo, like let's just go here, rap in front of this, and we'll like we'll get high on the way and fucking, and then we'll go over here and we'll drink, and then we'll shoot over here. And like I didn't really have the thing of like the whole thing of like, oh shit, I'm shooting a music video until like we already shot it and then did the whole editing. We were ready to upload it. Then I was like, oh shit, I have a music video.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like it was like the whole process. I wasn't really thinking about it until like it was ready to like kind of like press like publish.
It's like,
oh shit.
Like to reflect and like observe it once it's all recorded. You're just kind of like, this is fucking weird. Yeah, like I always find it kind of weird. Same with music and shit, right? Like bumping your own shit. Like, and
for sure.
It's kind of interesting to like take it in as a finished product or whatever. I'm doing a video. I'm releasing a video next Friday actually. For this year, I've been doing like kind of a single every month with a piece of art that'll be turned into merch. So I kind of done all of that myself. And this is like the first video of it. And it's like from the single that I kind of released about a year ago for this project. And at the end, I want to have a collection of art and music in a vinyl, kind of like a coffee table book or whatever you would call it. But
good idea.
Yeah, fun, like, because I'm an artist too, so I was like, how do you combine these two things together? But this last video I did, you know, it's kind of like a blend of back to like I felt really awkward, but then over like doing videos, but over time and as you get more comfortable as an artist, oh, I'm gonna implement these certain elements. Like I've got like this shit, like this fucking Star Wars thing, like on a leash. And it's like the video is I'm kind of walking around and it's like my dog. So it's like kind of like embracing the other sides, like you were saying, like you were saying, bro, that like you're like, oh, I don't want to show certain sides of it. As like I progress, I'm like I feel more comfortable.
Same.
Like, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool when you
Absolutely.
reach that point as an artist. You're like, yo, this is. I'm into comic books. I'm into drawing. Like this is the other aspect. Like, and it's cool to like apply that to your craft.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's super cool.
Yeah.
What I found is that most people are nervous too. So when you show that you're, you know, calm and collected, it makes people like that too, because it's hard to hide the fact that you're nervous. You might think, oh, I don't look nervous, but yeah, you do. It's the shifty eye. You know what I mean? So if people see you like that, they're gonna feel automatically like that.
And then
like if you're calm, you know, and you seem like I'm cool, even though inside you might be fucking freaking out, but
yeah,
oh, you're cool.
Yeah.
People, you'll bring that out of people. I feel like, you know what I mean. So that's my whole thing. I feel like even if I don't feel comfortable or I feel a little bit, I still kind of just power through it, you know, because I know that it's gonna make everybody feel like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, right? Like like when I was touring and shit, or when I like was touring overseas, like one thing with Hot Rocks, shout out to Hot Rocks, like we would be like out of like there'd be a bigger bill, like not necessarily like the kind of like larger bills that you'd play in Canada where it's like 10 openers. It'd be kind of a little smaller than that, but what people would say to us is that like you guys are yourselves, like when you work, like when you're on stage you're yourselves, and when you're off stage you're yourself, and people like, and whether good or bad, but like people pick up on that, like so you're like it's like just be yourself, and that's your great.
Being yourself's important for sure.
It's attribute, right?
For
like,
sure. Yeah.
I actually say that in one of my last songs that I say I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. You know, because a lot of people make this, you know, character that they, you know, but it's like that's not really who you are. So even the reasons I like you is not even real. You know,
right. No doubt.
I'd rather you hate me for like who I really am, not to hate me for that guy that I created. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And I like you just failed the test of like you're not worth my time, like right?
Exactly.
Like other likewise minded individuals, right? So sure. For sure.
Yeah. So, another direction I want to take this is like we'll go Bugz, go Eddy, and we'll go Harvey this time. But for this one, I want to know like let's say that like the money comes in, like the money comes in, you're hitting. What is that one bad habit that you have right now that like is gonna like kind of like you want to kind of tame it, like because you know like man like when the money comes in it just amplifies everything, right? So like what is that one bad habit like that you want to conquer when the money comes in?
What do you mean, that I'm going to spend all the money on, or I don't want to spend money?
Either or. Like me, I'm gonna smoke more weed.
I'm going to smoke more weed. I smoke enough weed as it is, but I'm going to smoke even more, man.
Yeah.
And you know what else? I'm gonna go places while I smoke weed. I'm gonna go see the earth. I want to, you know, see places. I want to go all over the place. And if I can afford to do that and smoke my weed while I'm doing it, man, what else? What could be better than that? Right?
Right. So like is there any is there any like hobbies you spend on, like people like you collect anything? You kind of like is there anything like on that kind of shit?
I play video games and stuff, so I guess I'd buy more video games, bigger, better video games, virtual reality games, maybe even a roller coaster. I'm going to Wonderland on Sunday. I'm going on Sunday to Wonderland. I got my season pass for the next year. I'm a ride warrior, so I do shit like that, man.
Awesome.
I'd pump up my stereo system and get vinyls and CDs. You know, I hit it retro with all that shit. Just enjoy life. Enjoy life.
For sure.
It's
So
like, it's tough right now working for a living, right?
so so Eddie, so Mike comes in. What are the major changes in your life?
If the money came in,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think that it's weird for me because I've never been the type of person that I've always wanted a lot of money. I've never been like, I want all this jewelry. Like, I'm not about material things, you know. It's probably why I don't have money. But I feel like for me, it's more of a security thing. You know what I mean? Just knowing that if anything happens, you're good. You know what I mean? But I'm not the type of person that like, yes, I would have a better car and a better house, but I'm good. I got my splits. I go on a nice trip somewhere. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's just about, you know, knowing that you're good. You know, all this other shit that don't mean anything to me, man. Like, you know, you always see those like real billionaires. They don't got no jewelry. They don't have, you know, flash things because they're good. They don't need to prove to you that they're rich. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that like flashy stuff is more like, you're not even doing it for yourself. You're doing it for other people, for them to know that you're rich, or for them to think that you're cool or whatever. You know, I don't give a fuck what people think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm going to be the same asshole with a chain on or without one. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I'm different than most. I know a lot of people are like, oh, money this, money that. Like, like, to me, like I said, it's more of a security thing. It's more knowing that my kids are good, that my family's good. You know what I mean? Other than that, I'm good.
I would say like closer to that too for myself, like property, you know, land, or
home.
Also, I'm a mad impulsive motherfucker. So also I love clothes and shit, and I love getting and like already I'm just like, oh well. Probably. But yeah, so definitely if like it's like a negative thing with money, like gear and shit, and like I collect mad action figures and shit. And as a designer too, I was thinking about like doing like my own shit like that, or like a 3D printing kind of thing.
Definitely invested.
Depending on like the creative ideas I have, but like having like a black budget to do it, like that would be ill. Like to just be like, oh, I want to make this installation or whatever, or you know,
let your creativity go. You know, no, don't hold back.
But one thing I've really found is that like working for a living. You said you just got off work. I just got off work too. Like I would just work till right up to this point, and like I was just like, it would be dope to just be able to have the financial freedom to like create it and just continue like property. Yeah, like absolutely weed too for sure, bro.
Do what you want, just to do what you want. That'd be sweet.
Definitely.
Property would be my number one.
That's
like,
a good one. Property.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely for me, like I like to I like to travel a lot, and like I would like to like keep on doing the show, and like giving people like content from when I'm in like all these different crazy countries and different spots, like and just like I think it would give me like a lane to just be super creative with like this whole shit. Like I wouldn't have limits. I would be able to think of something to like, oh shit, like what if I went and did this? Like, you know, like
let's do it.
Much done if we didn't have to go to work. Like if you put in the 8 hours you at work every day into what you love, would be years ahead. Like that's
for sure. Like the time and just like the availability just to do whatever you want to do. Yeah. That's what would be the really big thing for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's dope.
And also like I'd want to try different businesses, just like try different things just to see if like I can make that shit work. Like just like testing myself and like kind of like okay, can I do this or can I do that? I'd find new hobbies, trying different things, 100%. And like always kind of trying to push myself, right? Like, but like with the money like that, it's like man, you explore like every crevice of the world, you know, and try different shit, right?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Definitely. And like
it's the best. Like, and then being able to travel and do what you love is the dopest too. Like that last little stretch of like about 3 years, like we went through. I never I didn't have a passport, like, you know, until forever, and like
Where'd you go?
my ex-girlfriend got me to like be like, oh, let's get a passport, and like that's one of the main reasons I moved over there. And then like I saw more shit than I did in 3 years than I did in, you know, 27, you know, or another 28 years, like, you know. So it's just nothing is better than that, like getting out there and like see some shit and getting perspective from it. So yeah, for sure, Eddie.
You grow so much when you travel, man. Like just seeing different parts of the world. Like I always feel like whenever I travel, I never come back. Like I never come back the same person. You know what I mean? Like always something happens that changes your perspective completely. Like
Yeah.
somebody, you know, like a poor kid on the side of the road or something that just like, holy shit, like you
Yeah.
don't know how fucking good you got it, man, until you go over there. You think your life sucks, and then you go over there and it's like, I'm an asshole for thinking that.
Yeah. Yeah.
To those kids, we're fucking rich. We got everything. You know what I mean? Like,
But
so
Europe too, like going there, and then when you leave, you're like, see you later, motherfuckers. Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
and
it's
then,
true though, man. It's true.
like,
We're fucking spoiled though, man.
yeah.
Every time I see somebody close-minded, I'm like, you haven't traveled, have you? Like,
Yeah. No doubt.
I've been about a year now since living in Amsterdam. Like I moved back last August. Many reasons, but like coming back and being like oh, I didn't choose to come back, some other circumstances, like, but then coming back here, you're like, oh, it was like the first time seeing Canada in a way, like as an outsider. It was wild. Like I was just like, oh, that's really good. Like,
and that's the thing too, like you miss home when you're gone, you know what I mean? Like, you know, but it comes a point where you're like, oh, I miss my bed, or I miss this thing or something, you know what I mean? That you never miss home when you're here. You know what I mean? You hate it.
Health.
Right.
I was living in Amsterdam, you got like the States, so you got to like pay healthcare and shit. I was like, what?
No doubt.
You should think twice about getting sick. Like, I'm not sick, man.
Yeah, I'm not sick. Oh, never mind. I thought I was sick, but like I got paid. No, I'm not sick anymore.
Oh, I feel better now.
For years when I lived there, I'm like, it's like the same cost of living as Toronto for sure. Like, and it's just like came back, I was like, no, it's not.
I'm saying. Even things like having a kid costs like 20, 30 grand. Like,
yeah.
Like you want to have a kid? Like I don't have 30 grand, do you? Because
yeah,
we don't think about that shit. We have kids and we're walking out the doctor like, thanks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
feel for
thanks.
it was just like things that like you just were born into, and you just, I don't know if you guys are all Canadian, right?
I mean, I am now, but I was raised in Mexico, so I got to see what you're saying. Yeah.
Or so you're just like come in and you're like, it was like not literally like that, but like, because obviously like I was born here and I'm being a fucking spoiled brat right now talking about like it was so enlightening.
Everybody is. I've been in Canada also for a long time too, so I get it. Like
it's a great place to live. Yeah,
for sure. So like so like relatable topic is like me like when I was a kid, I used to always tell my mom, oh, but by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Like I had this high expectations of myself. I was gonna be like an entrepreneur. I was gonna have all these businesses and be a millionaire by the time I was 30. And then when 30 hit, and like I was like, I remember telling, and my mom actually reminded me of that. Like when I hit 30, I was like, oh fuck. But like what was that thing for you guys when you were a kid? Like how do you see like the adult life?
I never pictured it once, man, to be honest with you guys. Like there was things that I wanted to do. Like I always wanted to act. I've always wanted to be on Saturday Night Live, like things like that I can imagine or remember thinking like, oh, I want to do that one day. But as far as like picturing myself or like knowing what I would do, never. That was me personally. Like it's weird. Like I always had the idea that I was gonna die young because of that. You know what I mean? Because it's like I never saw myself. I've always been like a very impulsive person. Like now, even today, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
So to think even now to think of myself as like 70, it's like no, that's fucking weird. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. I'm still trying to find out what I really want to do. I've done so many different things in my life, and like I've done college twice. I've got through high school. I mean, I've done so many different jobs and long time. I've been with companies for 10 years.
Move on.
Still haven't found what I want to do. I'm welding right now, and all I know is that I don't want to keep doing it because it hurts the body, man. Like, it's a tough job. It's good pay, and I do all right, but it's not going to last forever, man. When I'm 60, I don't want to be welding. I got to find something else to do now, you know? It's the same thing over and over. That's how my life's been. Find something else, try something new. Like,
Same here, man.
kind of, yeah.
I'm starting a new job next month. You know?
Yeah. That's how it is, right?
And I'm always like, no, this is it. No,
Yeah.
for real this time. And it's like, oh, no, I think this is not working out for me.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it no more.
Girls, like everything, man. Houses. I'm always moving. I'm always. Now people are like,
Yeah.
what else new job? I'm like, what new job? Oh, that was like fucking 5 jobs ago. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I moved back, like my parents were like, "Oh, we found a bunch of your old drawings when you were a kid," and I was just like, "Okay." And then I found this shit, and this is exactly what you asked, Eddie. Like, it's fucking wild. It was just like a report, like of like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it was just like, when I want to grow up, I want to be an artist, or like, you know, doing something like that. Art, like broken English child. And then it's just like, and in order to become that, I need to get better at drawing. And like, I was just like laughing because I'm just like, this is literally
me.
no difference. 30 years difference. Like,
Now?
like that's a valid thing to yeah, good point. Yeah. And I'm so that. And like, so I'm a designer now. Like, I do graphic design. Like, the company I work for is like packaging design. Like, I make beer and shit now, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
But like, I've always like I'm more of an illustrator, and then was like, oh fuck, I guess I should. And I went to 2 different colleges too, and the first time it wasn't art, and I was like, oh, that's a hobby, like just dismissive of it. And so many times, like, oh, you're a rapper, so you should go into like a writing career, or, you know, like something like that. Like, and then eventually, like, just this year, going through all of this shit, I was just like, take it seriously, and then applying it to my own music, and then it's really blown up, like the drawing shit. So I would love to like just keep it moving with the art, like illustrating album covers and shit like that. I just did Sadat X and Will Tell's 10-year anniversary cover of Planet of the...
What?
Yeah. As well, because we traded, which is wild. Like, so it was like no money exchanged. Like, you get a $5,000 beat and a whatever, maybe $1,500, $2,000 verse, and I just was like, I drew a cover for them, and they're like, whoop, whoop.
Wow,
that's so sick. Nothing's doper than that, right? Just being like, oh,
that's awesome.
Apply and give to you and exchange and whatever. And yeah, so like that's where I'd be at with that. Like, I think that I want to, but it takes so much time, and who knows what it's gonna be, right? Like, in a year, like maybe you'll be like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, because I've been through many iterations of that as well, for sure.
Yeah, and I definitely your parents kind of like I can see a lot. Like, I remember like when I first like said I got to my mom that I was going to start a podcast, and she didn't know what it was, and I explained it to her about talking to people, and she's like, that's a pretty good idea, because sometimes it's hard to actually get you to shut the fuck up, like. And I was like, okay, Mom, like, thanks for like encouraging me, you know.
She's like busting balls about not being a millionaire at 30.
Yeah. She's like, fucking. She's like, I was supposed to retire from now. Like, you got me still working?
No, that's cool though. That's cool though, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and definitely all this stuff, like the whole entertainment thing, I remember first getting the bug, and then I started music, and then I was watching a bunch of interviews, and then it actually led me into like doing the interviews, and then when the interviews started picking up like way more than the music, and I was like, okay, well, I guess like this is probably like and me, I was enjoying both, so I'm like, but if this one right here is doing more, you know, I might as well go with it, and I ran with it, you know.
Cool.
wherever life takes you, man. You know, sometimes you start off doing one thing and then it takes you out the other way, that places you never thought. You know what I mean? That's how I came into like making beats. When I used to like produce and stuff, I never, you know, when I was a kid, I never like, I want to make beats one day. You know what I mean? But you start doing it, it's like, oh, I can do this. And then I was doing that for a while, and that's what took me away from rapping for so long. You know what I mean? Because just, you know, you go with the flow, you go with what you love. You know what I mean? You can't help it. Like,
what made you get into making beats? Like, what did you do this?
Because I couldn't get any beats, because, you know, at the time it was like,
Yeah.
I was, you know, I was rapping. I was so young, but I was, you know, I was shit. You know what I mean? So I was like trying to get signed. I was trying to get beats. You know, it was those days where it's like, oh, come on, give me a chance. You know what I mean? And it was like, I was getting dismissed. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start making beats myself. And
That's Havoc. Like, that's exactly.
Really?
They were signed, but then people weren't taking them seriously, and then they're like, fuck it, I'll learn how to make Havoc. Like, I'll make beats, and then look at them now. So that's
everything I've done in life has pretty much been like that. Like, it's like, I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, and like you were saying about like being limited to your money, like that's how I feel too. There's so many things that I haven't been able to do because of money. You know what I mean? Because like I would love to direct a video. You know what I mean? I know that I could do a good job, but I don't got a camera. I don't got the fucking editing system, all that shit, the lighting. You know what I mean? Because I've been involved in so many videos that it's like I know what it needs to be done. It's just I don't have the fucking budget. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and the things that I can do, I do. Like rap, sure, I'll write. You know what I mean? Like whatever you can. You know what I mean? You're just limited to what you can do, right? Financially, but yeah, man. Same with recording. Like I didn't want to pay studio time anymore, so I was like, how much is Pro Tools? How much is an Apex 460?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah,
doing everything yourself. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
I can't believe it. Like, because of the pandemic, and then like falling out of other like recording, and like, but my whole MCing career, I was always like relying on studios or other producer studio spaces, and then I've been my homie Veteran, who's from North Carolina, but he's like in between there and LA, and I met him overseas touring and shit. Like, he has been mentoring me, and then he was just buy a studio, like just buy this, and like, you just need an M box, you just need this.
Yeah, it's not that hard, man. Like, not these days. Back in the day, you needed fucking $1,000. Now you're good with like $500, $1,000. You get a fucking Long and McQuaid, you're good. Like,
yeah.
It's such a good feeling, man. Like, it's so cool. And same thing with, you know, design, just investing in yourself, right?
And also with that, like sometimes you go to another person's house that has their own setup, and like they might actually be good at recording their own stuff and knowing how to do their own voice. But like when it comes to somebody else, like you all should bring your track over and and you'll start doing it, and then like you're like, yo, like you're not making me. There's different changes you want, but they're like, no, like it should probably be this way when you're trying to do a collaboration like that. And like sometimes you're like, yo, I just want it this way. Like I have a vision.
Yeah,
So sometimes it's better to have your own stuff. Like for me, like the last couple of songs I did, I haven't put those songs in a while, but like for years I was always just writing in a notepad, and then I spit the whole verse, right? The last couple of songs I did, I just listened to the beat, and I had the mic in front of me, and I saw that first line, and I recorded it. And I thought the next line, and I recorded it. And then when I went through the whole verse, I was like, I got a whole verse here, and then I memorized that, and I did re-record. So like I didn't actually write anything down on the paper, but like I just did kind of like record this little part, record this little.
My buddy G Knight raps like that too. He never writes anything down. He just one, and then he thinks of the other one. And he just keeps going. So his whole thing is just like one after like that.
Yeah.
He has like so many different ones.
Like he does. I don't know whether he writes that way, but he punches bar for bar.
Who?
Like that. Like one half of MOP, Fizzy Womack.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I write like that.
I've ever seen do that, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Like, it's weird.
I write like that because I listen to instrumentals when I'm driving to work in my car, and I'll like when I come out. Okay, so my first line, I rap the first line, then I repeat it. Get the first. Usually, I come up with like the first, second, or third. Shit just kind of pops off the flows, and then like I just
way of writing, right?
Yeah, and then I kind of just once I get there, solidly build the foundation on the lines and they become solid, and I keep repeating them. As I repeat them, I'm more looking for that next line and next line. Sometimes I get one, sometimes I'll get three come right off. Like it just says, and by the end of writing the verse in my head, by driving to or from work, I've memorized the verse almost every time. That's my process.
Can you like do it without writing it down at all? Because I'm like,
no, I usually go to my phone after I've gotten the whole verse memorized in my head, and I'll write it down before I go to record it, because just to make sure that when I record, if anything, because sometimes I'll write 2, 3, 4, 6 more songs before I record or something. So then when I go back to record, now I got to look at the lyrics I wrote just because but yeah, that's how I get there. I always it's for days I'll be freestyling it in my head. Until it's there, before it's fully through, then it's written down.
That's dope.
Yeah, even for me too, like doing the one line at a time. Like sometimes I'll say it exactly how I think about it when I first think about it. Like sometimes when I'm writing it down, I always know in my head, I'm like, that's not how I said it. I'm like, but there's like you kind of lose that like sometimes you're like. Man,
yeah, absolutely.
That's why I do a lot of voice notes too. Like I just record on my phone because I'll forget sometimes, and I'm like, how did I say that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So
you can say the same words, but they don't come out the same.
Yeah.
Right.
That I recorded, I have a demo of it on my phone that I just spit like raw like that, and it usually turns out different. You know what I mean? Because I'll hear that back, and then by the time I do record it, I'll switch up 1, 2 things that I would have felt is better. And I feel like going back to the whole like recording yourself, when this time around, because I stopped everything for like 5 years, and then I decided to start rapping again, and I was like, I want to focus just on rapping, so I don't want to rap and record and engineer and make beats, right? So that's why I started recording with B1, because I was like, okay, you guys studio, you do all that, cool. I just want to come here and rap and just focus on that. And but I was limited to his schedule, to you know what I mean, coming together and all that. And he ended up having a girlfriend and then moving away. So it's just like that once again led me to get my own mic again and my own little setup. And I found so much freedom. I found that, fuck, I can do this take 1,000 times if I need to. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it be like that. Sometimes I'll get the fucking take in 1 or 2. Sometimes it takes me 500. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. You know, I'll hear it and I'm like, I fucking hate that shit. What, I like that? So I'll have to redo it. I redo my shit all the time. Now, and when you go somewhere else, you can't really do that, right?
Both y'all, you guys all record yourselves, but do you mix and master yourselves?
Not yet, but I do want to get there.
Yeah. So like that's a whole other, right? Like,
once again, I want to get there, but you need monitors, you need mic preamp. There's more stuff, right? So that's what I was trying to avoid. That's why I was like, B1, you do that shit. I'll just want to come in.
That I have like Hot Rocks is I don't know if y'all met him either, but he's a part of Pen G with me. He's originally
shout out Hot Rocks,
but he's a fucking parts unknown motherfucker. He was born in a swamp. I'm fucking kidding. But he's an ill motherfucker. He's Irish originally, but he lives in Amsterdam as well, and like is very worldly or whatever. But he is an audio engineer and mixes and masters. So like I have. And it's taken a long time to get to this point where you're like, you have that system where you're like, there's no shortage of beats. It's easy to rhyme. Like, you know what I mean? What's hard is making a good song. Like, all you agree with that. Like, it's just like, put it together at 16 and, 30 minutes an hour. What is the resonance of that verse or whatever? Like, so you have to get good at the, like, content and, like, all that shit. But, like, the other part of that, it's like you can record yourself, but who's got your back to mix and master? And like, it's been wild to like have this as a well-oiled machine, like so dope to be like, I got this. Like, so like almost everything I've been doing, I've done my own. Like I do
that
distribution, like, and better taught me how to do that too this year. Like, I'm doing all my own art, like, but then
gotta send it out to get max and mastered.
Yeah.
And also another thing with like recording yourself, like me, like I can't sing worth shit, but like definitely like being by myself in front of the mic, I've definitely tried.
I got drunk and tried to. And
Everybody's got to try it at least once.
Yeah, like I always gotta try, like man, trying to see if.
And
you
then
can
you're like,
sing,
oh
like,
nope, nah, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
for me.
and like me, like I even sometimes like I'm in front of the mic, I got the headphones in, and I sing what I think is like I'm like, man, I got it. I'm like, man, I fucking killed that, and like I'll listen to it back, and I'm like, ugh.
I do not. Not
I'm not a
That's not it.
singer. I am not a singer, and I have put me singing on tracks I have released, and I
Thanks.
should never have.
so,
We've all done it for
Not
sure.
yeah, but like I fear they're surfacing.
The thing is, it's like anything else. You're never gonna be good at it right away. You know what I mean? I'm sure if you kept at
gotta-
it,
Gotta keep
it's
trying.
getting through that ugly stage, that learning stage. That is, oh, like,
You got stopping.
Yeah, so
there's a lot of people out there that can really sing, man. Like there's a lot of really great singers. So you're like, why am I gonna fucking butcher this shit when I can just get my buddy and he get an amazing voice? You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta know what role to play too. You know what I mean? Like,
It is.
and also at work, I was telling people at work, like, because like I drive around on a forklift, right? I get songs stuck in my head all the time, and I told them like, if I'm doing like this, I probably have a singing song stuck in my head. Like if I'm moving my hands, I have a rap song stuck in my head. I told them like, you see me driving by, if I'm more moving my shoulders, I'm singing in my head. If I'm driving, I got my one hand free, it's moving. I'm definitely rapping in my head.
Oh, rap.
Yeah. So, what are some of the songs like you guys get stuck in your head? Certain songs always come back. You know, like Mr. Boombastic always fucking comes up with, like in my head sometimes, like Mr. Boombastic, really fantastic. And just it's like some old songs that like kind of like get stuck in your head, like and always come back.
For me, MOP Annie Up is like always in my head. It's just the beat, the song, everything about it is like awesome. And then there's this song, I think it's from Helter Skelter. It's Method Man on the Helter Skelter joint, I think. He starts off, light another, elevate on this one, my brother, respect mine like my baby mother. I shine when it rains, skies crying, pulling black, kids dying, hurt he went out, clutching his iron, and in the midst of slugs flying, one verse he hit the dirt. And I know when he was touched at first, so valley hurt, all science, another figure murder, kid snatches work in his purse, left nothing but the shells on the turf, situation's worse, a lot of bitch-ass figures been coming out their skirts, cause it's real, not everyone can rhyme and get a deal, not everyone can shine and make a meal, but Johnny carry 9 in its steel, 1.5 of all the fuckheads, leave that ass for dead. Enough said, don't be mistaken or misled. It's all peace, but when my baby gotta get fed, I'm on teeth, I'm biting down on the bullet now. I caught my herb from a naughty dread and lived this life to the edge, figures. Stuff like that's always stuck in my head.
so
You don't write shit down. Got the hard drive right there. Like, holy fuck. Wow.
It's just one of those verses.
songs
like,
that good, like goddamn.
So it's like
yeah,
lyrics. It's lyrics that gets you to like.
it's the lyrics. And then it's Helter Skelter, too. Helter Skelter, remember? Is you with me? Put your hands in the air. All my thugs and players. Oh, like,
Yo, Ed,
that era of hip-hop with, like, Coco Brothers and Buckshot and...
yeah.
OBC.
Eddie, do you remember that show when it was the day that Sean Price died? And then we were at, it was with Buckshot. We were playing with Buckshot, and we were playing with Bronze Nazareth and Apathy and a few other. But it was wild to have Buckshot.
I remember that. That was a crazy time. Yeah.
9/11.
Buckshot's one of my favorites.
Sean Price. You know what I mean? Like
He's dope live too. All those guys are dope.
Yeah, man. Of course, and Ruck as well. Or sorry, not Ruck. Rock Ness Monster or whatever. What's his other MC name? I know he's Rock Ness, or is it just Rock? But
You guys got way better memory than me, man. I smoke way too much weed.
I don't know.
Yeah.
For a whole 16 like that, I can't even.
And I know. I'm like, wow. First, well.
But hold on. So like, I want to get back on that question. So So Harvey, what are some of those songs that
Yeah,
get stuck in your head?
man, it's a
Like,
hard.
I'll say another one right now. Like sometimes, like certain things bring it out. Like when I see a girl with a fat ass, like it's always the Buster Rhymes. Chill, girl, look your ass on fire. Your ass on fire. It's just like that pops in my head whenever I see like a really nice ass. Like, I don't know.
You remember? That's not the song you like.
I'm like, chill, girl, look your ass on fire.
No, but I'd say like it's an interesting combo, like because you're like lyrics, and I'm like the beats really get me. But yeah, I think it's "Get Physical" by Pete Rock and CL Smooth, and like obviously Troy is one. But like I was just like thinking going through, I'm like, oh, Troy, but like that's just like obvious. Like it's just like, oh, you like Run DMC, so it's like, yeah, of course. Like, but like yeah, like that, but lately, like we were talking about singing shit, so like I've been kind of getting into like, you guys ever hear of Jelly Roll before?
Yeah.
You guys fuck with him at all? Like,
yeah.
Old rapper from Toronto, no? Is that what it is you're talking about? Jelly Roll?
from Nashville, like so he's like,
Okay, no, yeah, I know who you're talking about with Adam Calhoun and stuff like that. Jelly Roll. He did some tracks with Mercules.
he is like slowly tricked me into liking country music. It's pretty hilarious. Like, but it's the hook. Like it'd be singing, like and I'll be like, I'll sing, but I'll be like this and that, like singing the song.
Mm-hmm.
His most recent album he put out, I'm like, there's not even any rapping on this motherfucker. But like, I'll always get that, like, really like those singing hooks. So like, fuck, like, what's a good like hip hop hook? Like, yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but definitely like, I Get Physical. Da-na-na-na-na. Like, I feel like it's the beat though, like, hook me in.
As far as beats, one beat that's always gets stuck in my head is the Ghetto Boys, Mind Playing Tricks on Me. Sometimes like that beat always gets stuck in my head as well.
Certified Eddy G shit.
That's good.
But Eddy, so, what are some of the songs that get stuck in your head?
I always have a song stuck in my head at all times. There's always something playing on my head, and it's not anything specific. Like, you guys are very specific in the songs that you guys said. Like, I just always have something. You know, it doesn't even have to be a song that I like. Just if I hear the song and it's catchy, it's in there. And sometimes it's multiple songs. Sometimes I'll be like singing 2 songs all day. You know what I mean? Like, it's fun. Like, I really feel like there's like a couple of brains in there or something like that. Because I'll just like, even if sometimes I don't even know the song or know the lyrics, I can still hear it in my head in a weird way. Like, it's like a radio playing in the background in a weird way. And I couldn't tell you what the lyrics are or anything, but it's just like, it's just stuck in there. Like, it's weird. Anything I hear, like, it could be in the radio, it could be in TV. Like, I'll have a freaking commercial stuck in my head all day. You know what I mean? Like, I watch a lot of movies. Sometimes I'll have like something that they said in the movie stuck in my head, and it keeps playing over and over in my head. Like, it just, I don't know. It's just, I'm a very visual person, so it's just like if the second that I get that, whatever image in my head, then it's stuck in there, and it's just like it won't leave. It's weird.
Like that first time you wake up, you ever like wake up first thing in the morning, you're like, how the fuck? I haven't listened to that song in like 10 years. How the fuck is that in my head?
Oh, yeah. That happens to me all the time.
Oh,
I'll be like, I don't even know it. I'll be like singing, and then my girl or someone will be like, where'd you hear that song? And I'm like, oh, yeah. Where did I hear that song?
Where did I didn't hear that song.
I'm about to tell you guys something. That legit has been like the last year. Like, I've been living with these roommates, and like we all know this one song, and it's like this like horn line. It's like da 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 da, and we're all like,
"That's familiar."
What's that from? And I'm like, and like no one knows what it's from. And I literally like, I'm like, I think it's from Twilight Kweli. And I went through every single song. Like literally, like just like I'm gonna do this today. Like this is work.
I'm gonna find this.
Not there. And to this day, we don't. Have Everybody's like, yeah, I kind of like, and then like we'll tell it to other people, and they'll have it stuck in their head, and they're like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's wild.
That happens with me with lyrics, where sometimes I'll be like writing, and then I'll think of something, and I'll be like, did I think of that, or do I remember that from somewhere?
Right. right?
I'll
Yeah,
tell
yeah,
myself
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
Google
yeah.
it all the time because I'm like, there's no way I came up with that. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Because yeah, sometimes it seems so obvious. You know what I mean? It's just like the fuck. I
Yeah.
just came up with that, and I tried to find it, and no, like I have Genius as one of my fucking like things just so I can like fact check myself because I don't ever want to do that where I'm like, yo, this is the dopest shit, and be like, yeah, you heard that from this person. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'd always.
I'll grab a word, like I'll grab a word and I'll be like, that's a dope word. I'll look up what it is. I'm like, that's a dope thing. I'm going to use that. And then I'll be listening to a record that I've been bumping for 2 weeks. I'm like, fuck, he used that. Because you're just, cool.
That's where I got it from. God damn it.
Like, fuck. And you're like, fuck it, throw it away.
Yeah. Or there's been times where I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I can't use that. That's been said, you know, like.
Yeah.
But that's why it's important to do it because you never know. It's memory or it's like imagination. You never know.
And there's nothing wrong with that too, right? Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, as long as it's like not 1-to-1, it's just like people don't have ownership of one word or one kind of like. As long as it's your own thing, like, never be like, oh, I
Yeah, it's
can't.
more like a scheme. You know what I mean, or like a whole pattern or something like that. You know what I mean, or like.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have been said, but there's a lot of ways to say them.
Yeah, exactly.
You can,
way of saying it.
Exactly.
I mean, you might say something and it might be similar to what somebody else said, but you didn't hear him say it. You did come up with it. Unfortunately, it has been said, but it's not like copy, motherfucker.
Yeah,
like, you did
you're
your
doing
own
it
thing.
by purpose. Like, yeah, I heard that in But that's also when I'm on album mode, I don't listen to other rap. I try to when I'm on album mode, I try to listen to the other genres because of that. Because I don't want to be like influenced. Because a lot of times when I'm listening to this shit, I'm influenced like without knowing it. And I'll start rapping like, oh, but fuck, I gotta start. You know what I mean? So I try to like clear my mind like Zen and then go into it. Like listen to country.
I remember I went. So it was like 2011, and Vinny Paz and Ill Bill were playing a Heavy Metal King show in Toronto. And I got backstage passes, and I was like a little fucking girl about it, like school. And like he was just like, y'all out in the. I was like, like I remember like we were all kicking it backstage, and people were trying to like sort of dick riding them essentially, and then I was just kind of like just chilling with the. Essentially, I'm like, who's this sketch bag drug dealer over here? Like I kind of friended all of the goons instead of like. But then eventually I made it over to Vinny Paz, and I was just like, "What's up, man? Like, like, what are you listening to?" Right? He was just like, "Pig Destroyer." Oh shit! Like, and I was just like, "Wow, that makes much sense. Like, that's fucking crazy." Like, and he's a person who has iterated that before, like being like, I don't listen to rap music because I want to be in my own space while I'm writing, like, or when I'm like doing shit like that. And I've caught myself, like we were just talking about, like you're like, oh, whatever. You're like, that's interesting, but then you're like, oh fuck, like you are subconscious.
Always, we always are, man. Because we didn't create rap, so we took it from someone that took it from someone. You know what I mean? So it's like we're just finding creative ways of doing it or our own way of doing it. But to say you're not influenced, you have to create a whole new genre of music. You know what I mean? But if we're all rapping, we're all, you know what I mean, like getting it from somewhere, right? So it's just
even doing the podcast all the time. Like I'll recognize like I'm gonna say something similar to like I said on another podcast, but it fits right in the conversation. So like we're saying like everything's been said, but sometimes you gotta say it differently. Like sometimes like I'll be like, oh shit, I know I said this before, but like it goes right with the topic, so I'll have to say it again, and like but I'll find like new ways to say it. You know, like
yeah, absolutely. Like you were saying, like there's so many words that rhyme together in the English language. Like you can get inventive, like so you're gonna like traverse the same route more or less, but it is how you apply yourself as a creative and shit. You know, like so.
Yeah.
Same route, but maybe in a different order, and the way fresher than what, or not necessarily fresh, but you know, like just fun your own way, kind of thing.
I'm new.
Hot Rocks is saying what up, yeah. And the
Rock.
What up, Hot Rocks? You processing the lads.
Processed food, yeah. Last clip I went out. Yeah.
What up?
Yeah,
What up?
for I think I still have one or I think I have one clip of yours, Harvey, and then I still have clips of both your guys interviews as well. To put out, I'm putting them out every day. I'm putting out every day, just like I have so much of a back catalog of interviews, so it's like I just put them out like so random. I'll just wake up and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna put this one out today. I'm gonna put this one out today because I have so much. But yeah, I definitely want to thank everybody for coming on the show, and I wanted to doing something like this. I always find like certain people are always down to do new ideas. For some people I'll start something different, and they'll actually want to wait you ever done a couple of these? Okay, now I'm gonna get on. Now it's working. So I want to thank you guys for this is my second one like this. I want to thank you guys for just believing in Eddie, you want to try something new?
Yo, can I say one more thing? Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I just want to touch on how Harvey Dent just was talking about meeting. Did you say Vinny Paz and shit? Anyway, I wanted to touch on that about meeting a celebrity, and I kind of got the starstruck. So it was probably 15 years ago or so. I was in Toronto at Club Circa. It was Lupe Fiasco headlining the club. The club was packed when I got there. We couldn't see shit. So you can see, get upstairs. I paid the dude. He let me upstairs. Me and my wife now. Get upstairs. We get upstairs and you still can't see shit. The stage is it's all just packed. And so finally walk around and you can see, we're at the back of the staircase that leads down to the back of the stage. You can see the whole back of the stage. And I'm like, sweet, let's do it. So we're sitting there. I'm quite buzzed, quite buzzed. We're sitting there. All of a sudden, I start getting pushed from every angle. I'm getting hammered, and I looked at my wife, and I'm like, I'm just about to hit, and I turn right there. There's Lupe Fiasco. All his buddies throwing me around. Get out of the way of the stairs, man. And I'm like, it's Lupe. I would have got beat down if I had swung that punch, but I swear to God, I almost hit Lupe. I was about to give it to somebody. I didn't know who.
You never know. It all happened so fast, and you're like, "Oh, what's happening?"
Yeah, it was so fast, but it was an awesome experience. Then we got to watch the rest of the show from the back of the stage, no problem. But
that happened to me with Absol. I was doing a Joey Badass show, Joey Badass and Absol and other people, and I was watching Absol from the back of the stage, and he's blind or something. He I can't see, and when he was getting off the stage, he hugged me. He was like, yo, and he held me for fucking 2 seconds, and I was just I went with it. I was like, yeah.
That's awesome.
I know who the fuck he was. I didn't who we know that was, but hey, shit happens. You're feeling the moment, right?
The wildest shit that ever happened, man, was Hot Rocks. Hot Rocks is repeatedly, because J-Roo the Damager lives in Europe, lives in Germany. And he's repeatedly bumped into him, and now they've kind of struck up a friendship, and he's repeatedly in these contests of rap contests and shit like that. And because
I actually put the clip up of that.
He's number 2, and that's where
the
time is where I met Nems or whatever. But we were in Rotterdam one night, and it was all Penji and my band at the time. I don't have a band anymore. It's just me and Hot Rocks, and we'll just get a set and do a DJ, whatever. But J-Roo the Damager took us around the city, pub crawled with us, and he was just it was one of those moments. You're what the fuck?
That's awesome.
Ladies, he doesn't drink anymore. Hot Rocks is when he used to drink, he was fun. But he's sober now, so he was just kind of these fucking white boys have done my pussy at success rate, But he took us around. It was wild. And then he hosted a few shows we did, and then he was there. He was playing a show when I met Nems too, at another event. He was But like, it's so crazy when you do this shit, right? And you bump into people, and then you like connect with them as humans and shit, and you're just like, and not very
human beings, man, just like us. We put them up to a pedestal, but you realize that you're all
yeah. And it's rare that they're cool, but that like cool motherfucker.
There's been a couple ones that aren't cool, but when it is cool, it's just like, man, like
for sure.
So weird, meaning and always having that story, and every time you see them on TV, like a KRS-One being on Versus, like I did a show with them, you know what I mean? And it's just like I see him on TV, and I'm like, that's somebody who I was talking to for so long.
Yeah,
Like, that's
KRS show with P-Rock. P-Rock and CL Smooth too, like way before, like in 2014 or something. And I was like, holy fuck. And then we like showed the sound check, and then he was like doing sound check, and like I was just like
you're a normal dude.
And he was like, hey man, how are you? Like he was like so nice. I was just like, what the fuck? Like I was just like beside myself, bro. Like I was just like, this guy is so cool, like, and just like chill. And he's just like, sounds right, sounds good, all right. Same with Ghostface. Like we played a show with Ghostface, and he had a surprise guest, like, and it ended up being Capadonna. And it was in Scarborough. So we were like in this Rock Pile East or fuck, what's it called? It doesn't exist anymore. But next to like fucking, we're just like, oh boy, rough times. But I never forget. We were at sound check, and we did our sound check, and then he walks out. And he's like, and he's got 2 mics. I'm like, who the fuck is that for? And he's like, pop that pussy. Pop that pussy. And the 2 mics is the same, pop that pussy. And then like the dude who was there to like film us, he like tried to film him, and he's like, please baby, no photography, I'm not in my element. I was just like, this guy is literally who he performs as. Like I was like, this guy is a pimp. Like this is the guy's the man. Like he's like, no photography baby. Like like it's so cool. It's so cool.
Dope. Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to thank you guys. It was a great conversation.
Yeah, man.
Show.
Yeah, man. The 4 of us.
Great meeting all of you guys too.
Yeah, great to meet you guys.
Later.
Salute, man.
Chat later.
Thank you, Eddie.
And definitely at other times, as I start to getting more of these going, I'll have each one of you guys back on with different people. If you guys are down. At different times.
Absolutely. This is such a dope idea too, because it's like networking with people that aren't necessarily
going, you know, like,
like it's like the same lane, but like once removed or wherever, like you're in your like
basically cousins.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're like, it's like we're all cousins for real.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, great chatting with y'all.
All right, boys.
Yeah, awesome, guys. You all have a great night. Good weekend.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
All right, peace.